I took office with two main goals: to end the weaponization of justice and return the department to its core mission of fighting violent crime.
Attorney General Pam Bondi has been ousted.
Did Bondi or anyone in her orbit leak information to you, Congressman?
No. He wants an attorney general who's willing to break the law and weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. That is what has to be intolerable.
So as you have heard, Pam Bondi has been fired. Some people agree with her firing and some might disagree. I don't think it's about the handling of the Epstein files because, in my opinion, she did what she was told to do in regards to that. But the Daily Mail reported that it is most likely because she tipped off Eric Swalwell about oncoming investigations into his relationship with alleged Chinese spy Fang Fang. Though he has vehemently denied those claims, to me, it seems like it is the most plausible cause for her firing. Good afternoon, beautiful people, and welcome to Nellie Miranda.
First, Bondi's out. Less than a month after President Trump fired his DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, he has also fired Attorney General Pam Bondi. Now, this is how Washington works. One day, you're with the president at the Supreme Court oral arguments. The next day, you're packing your office. It's brutal. In the interim, until a replacement is picked, Bondi's deputy, Todd Blanche, will serve as acting AG. On X today, President Trump called Bondi a great American patriot and a loyal friend who did a tremendous job overseeing a massive crackdown in crime across the country, with murders plummeting to their lowest level since 1900.
So the Daily Mail reported that she was fired for tipping off California Governor hopeful Eric Swalwell, writing, quote, Trump's reasoning for the sudden dismissal comes in part because the president believes Bondi tipped off Eric Swalwell about the FBI's effort to release investigative documents related to his relationship with an alleged Chinese spy. When Eric Swalwell was asked about it, he denied it, as if even if it was true, he would just come out and say, of course she tipped me off. That's just what friends do. That would never happen. But listen to Eric in his own words.
Was on with me earlier today, and she's been reporting that part of the reason Bondi was fired is that Trump suspects that Bondi leaked some information to you about an effort by the administration to release files from a 10-year-old closed investigation into your relationship with an alleged Chinese spy. Did Bondi or anyone in her orbit leak information to you, Congressman?
No. The Attorney General did not tip us off. No one in her orbit tipped us off. It was FBI agents who tipped off the Washington Post because they saw this effort by Kash Patel and Donald Trump to try and interfere in a California governor's race that I have been leading. And so, what this shows, though, and what is quite concerning, is that Donald Trump is seeing ghosts. He's certainly gunning for us, and he wants an attorney general who's willing to break the law and weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. That is what has to be intolerable, not just for Pam Bondi, and I don't know the reasons why she was let go, but it has to be intolerable for anybody who sits in that chair and carries out what we hope to be the rule of law and a system of justice.
This whole story really comes down to accountability and making the right decisions. And that's why I want to tell you about Chapter, because when it comes to something as important as Medicare, a lot of people are left trying to figure it out on their own. And honestly, that system is confusing on purpose. Chapter is a free service that helps you compare all your Medicare options, not just one company's plan, but everything available in your area, so that you can make the best decision on your personal needs and not someone else's commission. They've helped thousands of people avoid overpaying and get better coverage. And the best part is it doesn't cost you anything to get started, in less than 20 minutes of your time to get started. So if you or someone you love is approaching Medicare age, or you're already enrolled and wondering if you're overpaying, reach out to Chapter, because they help customers save an average of $1,100 per year. Imagine what you can do with that extra money. So for complete Medicare guidance, you can dial 646-817-8160 to speak with my trusted partner, Chapter. That is 646-817-8160, or go to askchapter.org/Nellie. Now, let's jump back in. The backstory is that Fang Fang was a suspected Chinese intelligence operative who was part of a broader effort by China to build relationships with up-and-coming American politicians. She specifically targeted local officials who had the potential to rise in power, city council members, mayors, and eventually members of Congress. And one of those politicians was Eric Swalwell. The two first connected in the early 2010s when Swalwell was still rising in California politics. Then their relationship became, well, a little bit entangled. And Swalwell never denied those claims.
This is the story. California Congressman and now candidate for governor Eric Swalwell wishes would just go away. His involvement with a suspected Chinese intelligence operative known as Fang Fang.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit of recap here. It all went down between 2011 and 15. The operative reportedly cultivated what's been described as a close relationship with Swalwell, becoming a fundraiser for his 2014 re-election campaign and placing interns in his office, leading to unverified rumors of a possible sexual relationship between the two. Rumors that the congressman has not directly or explicitly denied. This was all exposed in a shocking 2020 expose from Axios. But now that the congressman is running for governor of California, the story is coming back to haunt him.
Yeah, perhaps no surprise, although Swalwell was never formally accused of any wrongdoing. According to multiple reports out this week, FBI Director Kash Patel is pushing for the release of files related to the matter. This causing attorneys for the congressman to send a cease and desist letter to the FBI director objecting to the release of those files. However, the director appears undeterred, reportedly reassigning multiple agents to work on the case, even discussing sending agents to China to interview Fang Fang.
So he doesn't want the files released, but he was screaming for transparency when it came to the Epstein files. But now that it is about him, suddenly transparency just doesn't sound so good. Eric Swalwell is claiming that Trump and Kash Patel are trying to sway the California governor's race.
Congressman Eric Swalwell accused President Trump of trying to sway the election for California governor.
So with early voting starting in about a month, Trump and Patel are trying to interfere in the California election.
Strong accusations of a political vendetta aimed at the president today by longtime critic Congressman Eric Swalwell. In San Francisco, he responded to reports in the Washington Post that FBI Director Kash Patel is pushing to release files related to a decade-old investigation into the congressman and a suspected Chinese spy who had volunteered for his congressional campaign.
This case is closed. The Bureau said over 10 years ago, all we did was help. But this effort to weaponize the FBI against the president's political enemy at a time that we are at war shows a distraction. It shows an obsession with going after the president's political opponents.
If there's nothing to hide, you are running for governor, you claim to value transparency, then release the files. A former FBI agent said that files aren't released by the FBI unless they're requested to be released. Take a listen.
We spoke with retired FBI agent Max Knoll about the agency's protocols for releasing past files.
The FBI just doesn't unilaterally release information on its own without someone having requested it. So the normal process would be under the Freedom of Information Act. Second way would be under the Privacy Act for specific groups of people.
Now, Mr. Swalwell, who worked tirelessly on helping to impeach Trump, trying to get him impeached, is now crying foul, claiming that President Trump doesn't want him to be the next governor because he wants loyal servants in California.
Swalwell has been a vocal critic of the president and served as an impeachment manager over the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. He says this latest move by the president is all about trying to keep him from becoming California's next governor.
The president dreams of a servant in Sacramento, a Western White House.
No, Eric, it is because you don't deserve to be the governor. After the Fang Fang Bang Bang mess, the misuse of campaign funds on child care and what have you, why should you manage an entire state? Meanwhile, a new political fight is heating up in California's governor race, and this time it is not Republicans going after Eric Swalwell. It is fellow Democrat Tom Steyer. Steyer has launched a sharp attack and accused Swalwell of barely working, zeroing in on his voting record in Congress because, according to reports, Swalwell missed more votes than any other active members of the House last year. Here's Tom Steyer's new ad. It's actually kind of funny.
I should be working right now.
Eric Swalwell doesn't work. He's missed 68% of his votes. War Powers vote, missed. Healthcare, missed. ICE detention of children, missed. One of the worst records in Congress. The vote Swalwell did show up for? To thank Trump's ICE, even though most Democrats didn't.
I should be working right now.
Eric Swalwell, he's not working for California. He's barely working at all.
And if you don't know what he's referencing there, he's referencing a video that Eric Swalwell took of himself in a swimming pool shooting hoops, talking about he should be working right now, but he's blaming the Republicans for sending him home during the government shutdown. Watch.
I should be working right now. I should be in Congress. I should be voting to lower your costs. But instead, I'm in a pool because Republicans sent everyone home because they don't want to release the Epstein files. We could be working to lower your costs, make sure healthcare is affordable, and make sure we're restoring the rights of everyone in our community. I should be working right now.
I think Tom Steyer's message is simple but effective. If you are not showing up for your current job, why should voters trust you with a promotion? Because reports indicates that Swalwell missed dozens, if not over 90 votes, which clearly shows a lack of commitment to his role. So my question for you is, why do you think Swalwell is trying to block the release of the files? And do you think Trump made the right decision to fire Pam Bondi? Let me know in the comments. And if you got any value from today's video, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. And ring the bell so you don't miss any future updates. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.